How to make a hamburger at McDonald's. First, we drop our bun in the toaster.
Though you climb to the moon, take a walk on a star. Happiness can be found standing right where you are. Make yourself a new song, sing it in your own style. Make you happy and gay, make it ring with a smile. You have just one life to live, make it rich with what you give to your brother. The greatest gift is the smile you give to your brother. The greatest gift is the smile you give to your brother.
Hi, good to see you. May I help you?
2 Big Macs and a chocolate shake.
Would you like some French fries with your order, sir?
Will that be 3 filet, 2 cheeseburgers, and 4 Cokes?
Good morning, sir. May I take your order, please?
No, we don't. How about a chocolate shake? That'll be fine.
A Coke? Yes, sir. Here you are, sir, and come back soon. May I help you, please? Thanks, Bill.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, pretty busy, but everything's under control.
Good morning, sir. May I help you?
And yet, it wasn't always this way, was it? I mean, as far as you were concerned, remember how it used to be not too long ago?
What do you have?
2 hamburgers. That'll be 95.
Is that all?
What did you say? I said 4 hamburgers. Well, is that all? Yes. Can I have a cheeseburger?
Is that all? Hey, how long do I have to wait here?
I said, can I have a cheeseburger?
What do you have? I never ordered Cokes. I wanted milkshakes. For crying out loud, will you hurry up?
Where did that kid go?
How about some French fries?
If I wanted fries, I would have asked for them. Just give me what I ordered. Come on, Bill, a little hustle, huh?
Yeah, sure. What does he expect from me anyway?
79 cents.
Is that all?
Bill, give me 2 Cokes.
Why don't you get him yourself?
Yes, the old job wasn't much fun, was it? You used to ask yourselves,
How come I always get the old grouches?
You're not the only one.
Well, let's see. Hamburger, French fries, an apple pie, coffee.
Wise guys. That's all we get in here, are wise guys.
Why is everyone in such a hurry?
May I help you? Why can't they make up their minds? Well, what will you have? Oh, what am I, a mind reader?
From now on, I just don't care.
yep, nothing seemed to go right. Hurry, hurry, hurry. What could you do but, like you said, adopt a don't care attitude? Why try to be pleasant when all you get is a grunt?
Then you get your sandwich wrapper ready.
Good, Bill. Boy, this place is really jumping today.
Yeah, about right for this time of day.
You know, I'm continually amazed how you coordinate all these systems and still put out such a quality product.
That's quite a compliment coming from a guy like you.
Well, I'm still impressed at how you pull them all together. How do you do it?
You really want to know?
Well, if you have the time.
Well, it should be slowing down in a few minutes. I'll put Sandy in charge. Listen, why don't you go enjoy your lunch and then come on back. I'll show you how we put it all together.
Fine, we'll do that.
See you later.
Right.
Well, Jim, it all begins with a plan, consisting of a checklist, a to-do list, and a travel path. They provide a step-by-step method by which we plan and prepare our workday.
I took part in 4 missions, so I know exactly how important those plans are. Our space flights must be programmed literally to the second. And for the most part, all aspects of a flight are controlled by computer programs.
Oh, yeah, Jim, but you don't really think that our lists are as important as your programs, do you?
Bill, there's a lot of difference between a space launch and a McDonald's, no doubt about it. But you'd be surprised how important proper planning is to both endeavors. How about if I take a look at that?
Oh, sure.
The floor control system developed by McDonald's provides you with a step-by-step system for the preparation of your store's workday.
And it has 19 points.
Proper utilization of these items allows you to place into motion the first of our 2-step floor control process, observation.
And quantity. I use my checklist as a guide when I inspect the area around my store. The parking lot and corral, the back room, the service area and lobby, and of course, the dining area. I'm looking for trash, debris, broken equipment, anything which may detract from our quality, service, or cleanliness. That includes people and products, too. In my observations, I need to know who is scheduled to work and where would be the best place to position them. I also use the list to check product, food, raw products, paper. Do I have enough? Is all the equipment turned on and in good working order? Are the utensils in place?
The checklist is really only a reminder of everything that must be checked before your shift begins. You are, of course, observing to make certain that McDonald's standards in several critical areas are being met. This program is not designed to educate you about these standards. Your McDonald's operation and training manual is your source for that information.
To supplement this checklist, I also use my to-do list. In my checklist observations, I'll find areas which may require some action on my part. If I can correct the problem right away, I do. If I can't, I make a note of it on my to-do list and get it squared away as soon as I can.
You mean things like fixing a machine or a broken window?
Well, those are the most obvious. But I also need to look at the people's schedule, see if I have enough in the right group for what we expect in sales. Otherwise, I really have to scramble.
Well, it sounds to me like having all of your systems in a go mode before you open the doors.
Well, when you put it that way, I guess I'd really have to agree.
Well, could you meet the demands of your customers without a checklist or a to-do list?
No, in fact, I'm sure I couldn't. Well, I remember I came in to open the store on a Sunday. I was making my rounds when I discovered that the walk-in refrigerator had gone out overnight. To compound things, the faucet in the men's washroom was broken. Plus, I had 2 new crew people coming on during the first shift. If I hadn't used my checklist, I may not have discovered any of these problems.
You sure don't need those kind of problems before you even get started. How did you manage it?
Well, Jim, we have a system which provides 4 criteria which we apply to every problem.
Bill's answers to these problems bring into play our second step in the floor control process. We've already shown you how important observation is. Now it's time to examine action. But before we examine precisely which action Bill took to solve his problems, we're going to give you an opportunity to react to the same situation. Remember, Bill was confronted with 3 problems: a broken faucet in the washroom, a breakdown of his walk-in refrigerator, and 2 inexperienced crew personnel. Also, keep in mind that Bill's particular problems occurred before his store opened for its day's business. Nonetheless, it was imperative that he act as soon as possible to rectify these situations. At McDonald's, we've devised a simple formula for dealing with nearly every floor control challenge. This formula is comprised of 4 criteria that must be applied to every situation. These criteria are stated in the form of questions. Is there a performance discrepancy? Does it have direct or indirect effect on our customers? What is the degree of direct effect? What is the priority of indirect effect? Performance discrepancies, quite simply, are any occurrences that deviate from McDonald's standards. The difference between what should be and what is.
These discrepancies can include problems in food quality, service to customers, or incidents that may hinder the profitable operation of the store. A performance discrepancy may have a direct or indirect effect on our customers. If an equipment failure, for example, slows down service or causes the improper preparation of food, our customers will be directly affected. On the other hand, a messy back room or an unbalanced cash drawer does not have the same direct impact on our customers. The challenge facing the McDonald's manager is to distinguish between direct and indirect effects and act first on those that impact our customers. This in no way diminishes the importance of indirect effects. Rather, it provides a system of prioritizing that allows you to make intelligent responses to two or more situations occurring at the same time. We have developed, therefore, our third criterion, degree of direct effect, to help you prioritize those performance discrepancies that directly impact our customers. We classify degrees of direct effect into three categories. First degree of direct effect refers to any situation that directly impedes delivery of products to the customer. Second degree of direct effect refers to any situation that inhibits the comfort or convenience of our customers. Third degree of direct effect refers to any situation that affects the appearance or function of a store without impeding the sale of products or affecting the comfort or convenience of customers. First degree of direct effect problems should always be tended to first, then second, then third degree. Direct effect problems must always be addressed as soon as possible, regardless of degree. Indirect effect discrepancies, however, do not always require immediate response. They should be solved in the course of your daily business preparation. However, you must also apply a system of prioritizing these indirect effects. A decision must be made about indirect effects, those which must be done immediately, those that can be put off for several hours, or those that can be put off for a day or more. Actions that must be completed immediately we classify as A priorities. Those that can be put off for several hours are B priorities. And those that can be put off for a day or more are C priorities. These criteria can and must be applied to every situation in which a decision or choice must be made, both for direct and indirect effects. Let's practice applying them to some specific situations. Open your workbook to Section 1. Follow the instructions carefully on that page. Now, stop the tape and complete the exercise. Now, let's apply what we've just learned to the situation confronting Bill at his store, beginning with the broken faucet. Ask the question, is it a performance discrepancy? The answer, of course, is yes. Second question, does it have direct or indirect effect on our customers? To those customers who will be using our washrooms, the answer, of course, is a direct effect. Third, what is the degree of effect? Does it prohibit the sale of our product? No. Does it inhibit the comfort or convenience of our customers? The answer here, of course, is yes. Now, let's apply the same criteria to the broken refrigerator. Again, it is a performance discrepancy. It has a direct effect on the customer, and it has the potential to be a first degree of effect. Food can be severely damaged in a very short period of time. Finally, let's consider the case of the two trainees. They pose a more unique problem. Ordinarily, the inclusion of two new people in a normal day's activity wouldn't necessarily have a direct effect on our customers. However, in this particular case, Bill is confronted with a dilemma. Each of these three situations requires prompt action on Bill's part. If he spends his time working with the new trainees, he won't have enough time to solve the walk-in refrigerator problem. And if he spends all morning working on the walk-in, who's going to fix the broken water faucet? And who's going to supervise the new trainees?
Well, my biggest problem was the walk-in. I had to track down a repair person, and I had to do it fast. I knew that this could take up a lot of my time that could be spent training the two new crew members or fixing the faucet. So I delegated the authority to my assistant manager to work with the two new people. And I assigned one of the crew people to fix the faucet as soon as he came in the morning. I spent a couple of hours getting the walk-in fixed, and somehow I made it without losing any product.
I guess it just shows you how important detailed plans are. You just can't fly by the seat of your pants. You know, we operate the same way. In the original Apollo missions, there were initially 3 different flight plans. The first was a direct approach. The second plan was the Earth orbital rendezvous. The third plan was the lunar orbital rendezvous, which was the one that was finally chosen. Any of them would have worked, but a decision had to be made as to which one was the best for that particular situation.
Yes, but the planning is only part of the story. I mean, it helps get things going. Not keeping them going, that's another story. I mean, that takes teamwork, everybody pulling together, coordination, you know, helping out and filling in. And a checklist is not going to help you there.
Well, once again, Bill, we can draw a parallel between what it takes to make a McDonald's work and what it takes to pull off a successful space flight. You talk about teamwork. Well, look at the control center sometime. There are computer technicians, doctors, scientists, and of course we astronauts just pulling together, making everything
By myself.
Boy, I know what you mean. Let me tell you a story. The project was Gemini 12. Our mission to dock with an Agena target vehicle. Buzz Aldrin and I conducted what was considered to be a successful flight, but not before encountering some serious problems. The onboard computer, which stored the computations we received from Earth, malfunctioned. We had to override the computer and manually provide it with the right answers. Now, we've been trained to do these things, but it just goes to show that no matter how elaborate the plans, something can go wrong.
Around here, it's more the rule than the exception. I remember a time, a busy lunch hour no less, when our drive-through window transmitter went... I was checking it out when a customer complained about his drink being watered down. I checked, and he was right. Talk about putting things into manual operation.
I wouldn't have the slightest idea what to do.
Well, first I had to apply my 4 criteria. And then...
One moment, please. Before Bill shows how he handled this problem, let's take a look at it ourselves. Turn your workbook to Section 2 and stop the tape.
Well, when I applied my 4 criteria, I determined that both were performance discrepancies, and both directly affected the customers. However, the malfunction of the beverage system was a second degree of effect because the other side was still functioning, although service would be slowed somewhat. The broken transmitter was, in reality, a first degree effect.
Hello?
I had to figure out a way to provide the convenience of the window without a transmitter. So I stationed a crew person at the order board to take orders and went to work to see what was causing the malfunction in the beverage system.
Pretty quick thinking on the fire, Bill, but it made a lot of sense. Your approach was logical. You applied a system of troubleshooting, your 4 criteria, and you acted.
Yeah, all in about 20 seconds.
Well, that's what being a manager in control is all about. Our astronauts have faced the same split-second decisions. Remember John Glenn?
Oh, of course, he was the first American to orbit the Earth.
Yes, but did you know he had to make a split-second decision just prior to re-entry?
Oh, really?
You bet. As he prepared to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere, the automatic control system malfunctioned. Now, we're talking about re-entering the atmosphere at such speeds that an intense amount of heat builds up around the capsule. And every second those retro rockets delay in firing puts the capsule miles and miles off course. So you can see how important it is to be prepared for such an occurrence.
Ooh, you mean he could have thumped down instead of splashed down?
Possibly. He could have landed on dry surface or in unfriendly waters. Instead, he made a decision, manually fired the retro rockets and made a successful landing. Off target, but safe.
Brother, I can see how you astronauts really must be in control of your ships, huh?
Just like you're in control here, Bill. We don't just go along for the ride. We're there to take over when the systems go haywire.
Systems and people, too. You know, a big part of my job is making sure the right people are in the right places.
Just as NASA handpicks its personnel based on their skills. Some astronauts, like Glenn, Shepard, and I, were pilots. Others, like Jack Schmidt, were scientists. Joe Kerwin on Skylab was an MD.
You know, we have a lady here, middle-aged, been with us several years. She's good at the fry station, providing consistent product. She's also good at the register, has a good memory, is friendly. She's all of these, except when traffic is at its peak. I was using my observation checklist and noticed that she gets flustered, makes mistakes. Well, I'd hate to fire her, though, because she is good most of the time.
So, what did you do?
Well,
We'll pause here again to let you respond to this challenge. Open your books to Section 3 and stop the tape.
her work, of course, affected our critical standards and could directly affect customers with either a first, second, or third degree of effect. My decision? Use her as a swing worker, putting her on lobby cleanup during peak periods and swinging her back to the grill or cash register when things settle down.
Again, your observation, analysis, and action were based on those 4 important criteria. It seems they're the focal point of your management skills.
If you become familiar with them, so familiar that you can instantly apply them to any situation, well, you can see how any of those situations can be solved. But if you leave any of the criteria out, it won't work.
Bill, it's repetition, going over again and again. You have to make it second nature. Now, when we prepared for a space flight, we went through exercises, both mental and physical, over and over. We drilled, drilled, and drilled until our senses were finely tuned to just about any situation.
But can you really cover every conceivable problem in your training?
Of course not. But we learned to be aware, to make decisions, and to react.
Really, that's all we can do, too. It's the most important part of our jobs. That's why we're called managers. The system already exists, Jim. It's just our job to make sure it works the way it's supposed to. We can't let circumstances affect us. We have to affect them. That's what our job is all about.
And ours. I'll give you an example. A story about an incident in a mission which could have been fatal. Apollo 13. We were 200,000 miles out, some 56 hours into the flight. Faulty wiring in an oxygen tank thermostat caused a short, which ruptured the tank. The oxygen was being used to mix with hydrogen for the ship's electrical power. And although the main tank blew, we had a backup system. The oxygen from the ruptured tank flashed into a gas, blew out the side of the spacecraft, and ruptured the second tank. We suddenly found ourselves 200,000 miles away from home with no electrical power.
My gosh, Jim, what did you do?
Well, fortunately, the lunar landing module was attached to the main craft, and it had its own electrical system. Now, we maneuvered the craft through that system.
Thank goodness for the lunar module, huh? And your training.
Exactly. When things don't go as planned, you have to take charge.
I'll tell you, it happens here all the time, Jim. Once I was following my bin chart religiously, but waste at certain times seemed to be higher than at other times. According to the charts, well, that shouldn't have been happening.
There was a problem somewhere in the system?
And I had to find it. But again, I had my plan.
Here's another problem for you to attack before Bill shows you how he handled it. Turn to Section 4 and stop the tape.
I looked into the problem and discovered that the waste seemed to occur at the same time every day. I made the decision to alter the bin chart and keep a close eye on the product during these times. The result? A great reduction in waste and an increase in profitability.
Profitability. Well, that's how success is measured at McDonald's. But NASA measures the success by reaching each mission's goal. But the challenges are, in principle, the same.
Sure. They involve people, products, equipment.
Plans, preparation.
And decisions, Jim.
And it all means one thing, better service for your customers, Bill.
Exactly right. You know, when you break it down, floor control touches every aspect of a McDonald's operation. Quality of product, service, and cleanliness. And floor control happens all the time, not just when we're busy. In fact, it seems that sometimes we have the best service when we're the most busy. It's when things slow down a bit that I have to be most conscious of potential problems.
But it certainly must be easier to spot problems and solve them at slower periods.
Not necessarily, Jim. I remember a service problem we had once. I was scheduling people for breaks after peak periods, when things slowed down. Well, it seemed like the logical thing to do. I just moved people around to fill in the gaps. Everything seemed to be so logically planned out. But then I started noticing things, subtle things. Lines started building up, and counter people were waiting for product. It dawned on me that my plan had backfired. I had too many people on break, yet I had to give everybody a rest. When could I do it, other than at slower times? But if I did, how could I continue to give good service?
That's a good question and a common problem. How would you handle it? Stop the tape and turn the workbook to Section 5.
First, I had to jump in and help out on the grill. Then I had to look more closely at my schedule, make scheduling changes, and keep my eyes open for any lull in the business so that I could schedule only 1 or 2 people on break at one time. I had to put into action my observation skills. I couldn't allow them to slack off when business did.
I see what you mean.
Essentially, this is the crux of floor control. Your ability to observe potential problems and act on them before they become real problems.
We had another unique floor control problem one time, Jim. A girl was working the number 2 register. In my normal course of observation, I noticed that she had rung up an order for 1 quarter, but there were 2 on the tray. Well, at first I dismissed it because we were so busy at the time. But the more I thought about it, the more I became suspicious. The customer was a friend of hers. I knew that much. I'd seen them together outside of work, and we'd been having some problems with theft.
A touch your area, I'm sure.
Say, Luann, could you get us a couple of black coffees, please?
Sure.
Thanks. Nonetheless, I had to do something about it.
To do something. Yes, that is the most important role of the manager. How would you handle this challenge? Turn to Section 6 and stop the tape.
Well, did you confront her on the spot?
Yes, again, I applied my criteria. In doing so, I determined that this action was a performance discrepancy, but one that did not directly affect the customer. Nonetheless, it was an a priority, Jim, something which had to be answered immediately.
But didn't you risk disrupting workflow?
Yes, but I was locked into a legal situation. If I didn't confront her at the time of the crime, our case could be weakened.
I can see that by waiting, you'd imply that the problem wasn't very serious.
Right, but my system of prioritizing made my decision easier.
Once again, the process of criteria is applied, and the problem is solved.
You have to maneuver your actions, the people involved, and the product around the situation at hand, bringing things together to make things work.
It's a delicate science, I know. Don't forget it was Frank Borman and I who took Gemini 7 to the first manned space rendezvous with another craft. Our ship approached within 1 foot of Gemini 6, 185 miles above the Earth. And we flew in close formation for nearly 8 hours. Both spacecrafts splashed down the Atlantic within 10 miles of the predicted impact zone.
That's astounding.
It's people, products, and equipment synchronized together just like in your store.
Planned and prepared. But did you ever have outside forces other than equipment failures interfere with your work?
You bet. Weather in particular. Many missions were delayed because of weather and other problems. Why, look at the first space shuttle. It was delayed for several days because of a combination of computer problems and bad weather. But as we all know, it too became an unqualified success.
Weather affects us too. My ultimate responsibility is to make my store as profitable as possible. If I schedule a crew based on expected business and the weather wipes out that business, well, then I have to make a decision about sending people home. That's a big part of floor control too, Jim.
Do the customers themselves ever affect floor control?
Oh, yes, people who complain about the food, for example. But they're the easy ones to satisfy. I mean, if they don't like the product, we just exchange it. Sometimes other mistakes occur, though, which disrupt the flow.
Like what, Bill?
Like just the other day. A customer complained he was shortchanged.
That could be a real problem, especially when things are busy.
But it demands immediate attention.
What type of immediate attention? You tell us. Turn to Section 7 and stop the tape.
He had just been served, so I asked him to have a seat and enjoy his meal. This gave me time to pull the drawer, check it out, and take care of our customer.
Of course, it did disturb the pace of the operation, didn't it?
Oh, no, not as much as if I would have argued or neglected to rectify the situation. Listen, you understand the criteria by now, Jim. Think what would have happened if I hadn't applied them.
You wouldn't have solved the problem.
Mm-hmm. Solving problems is what my job is all about. Oh, and speaking of my job, maybe I should get back to it, huh?
Floor control.
Great seeing you again, Jim.
It's problem solving, plus
On the crown, we get 1 shot of mustard and then a shot of ketchup, and then we use some dehydrated onions. Next, you put 1 pickle right on top of those onions.
Hi, I've got something very new and special that I'd really like for you to see. It's a video about satisfying the customer called Doing Whatever It Takes. Now you're probably wondering, what does Michael Jordan know about satisfying the customer? Well, let me tell you, when I step onto the basketball court, those 18,000 screaming people aren't just fans. They are my customers. They want to see more than just a basketball game. They expect to see a show. No matter what kind of day I've had, when I put on that uniform, my customers expect behind-the-back passes, long three-pointers, or great slam dunks. It's my job to deliver it, and I love it. When you put on your McDonald's uniform, your customers want more than just quick service with a smile. They expect to be treated as a guest in your home. And if you hadn't had the greatest of days, it's up to you to put on a show and do whatever it takes to satisfy your customer. The video you're about to see will show you the difference between good service and great personalized service we all must give our customers. And it will take you behind the scenes to show you how a video is actually made. So let's see what it means to satisfy your customers by doing whatever it takes.
Tape's rolling. Everybody set? Slate, please.
Take 1.
Dolly. And action.
Thank you. Come again. Hi, how can I help you?
Whoa, cut. Hold it. Excuse me. Jim. Come on, that's the wrong line. Help me out here. You're supposed to say, hello, welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order, please? That's the way you always say it.
Oh, Dave, sorry, but that's my fault. Well, I was talking to Jim a little bit earlier, and he said that he was feeling really stiff having to say, welcome to McDonald's, over and over again. So I told him what we tell our people all the time. Say what feels natural, but say it with a warm, sincere smile. I thought it was great.
Well, you're the real manager here, Barb. You should know. I'm just not used to letting the actors change the lines.
Oh, I understand, believe me. I used to be the same way when it came to letting the crew people think for themselves.
Say, everybody take a quick break, okay? What do you mean?
Oh, well, you know we have our operations and training manual.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like your script.
Sure.
It tells us how to do things the right way at McDonald's. Well, I used to insist that all of my team do everything strictly by the book. I mean, everything from the way they greeted the customer to how they took the order and so on. Well, I started to notice that everybody seemed a little stiff. I mean, really inflexible in the way they were serving the customers. And the customers weren't particularly responsive either. So I decided that I really needed to call a meeting. I needed to talk about this. Right, Lisa? You were part of the team, man.
Well, yeah. We kicked it around, and everybody agreed. We just didn't feel natural constantly repeating the same thing, so we decided to lighten up a little, like ad-lib a bit when we were serving people. And it worked.
It really did. People's personalities started to show through. I mean, they really started to have fun. And the customers, they really enjoyed being treated like individuals, too.
Well, you know, that really makes sense. It's like, well, I know that actors sometimes need to ad-lib a line or two. It makes their performances more natural. But I just don't want to violate any McDonald's operating procedures.
Oh, well, no, don't worry about that. Our procedures are mostly in the areas of work routines and methods. And those have been developed throughout the years to make us work more efficiently. But when it comes to how we treat our customers, well, we want to impress them with our friendliness, our service. And we can't do that if we come on like robots, right?
Well, sure. Okay, let's try that scene again. And this time, everybody loosen up a little bit. Okay? Places, everyone.
Take 2.
Okay, everybody, the entire scene now. Dolly, And action.
Thank you. Come again. Hi, how you doing? May I take your order?
Yes, how about a fillet of fish, French fries, and a small Coke, please?
Will that be a large fry, sir?
Yes, please.
For here?
Yes, for here.
All right. Your total comes to $3.19. I'll be right back with your order.
Thank you.
And cut. All right, look good to me. How about you, Barbara?
It's looking better.
Better.
Well, it still seems a little stiff to me.
Yeah?
No, I like the opening, and then it starts to get a little formal. Now, maybe could your customer be a little more normal?
Normal?
Yeah, maybe a little less polite.
Oh, okay, okay. Mr. Customer, this time...
Take 3.
And action.
Thank you. Come again. Hi, what can I get for you today?
Yeah, I want a fillet of fish, French fries, and a small Coke, and nothing else, okay?
Well, will that be for here to go?
Oh, no.
What's wrong, Lisa?
When a customer comes on strong like that, we've really got to handle him with kid gloves.
Yeah.
People like that are almost always looking for a fight.
That's true.
Like they say, turn the other cheek. Now, the next time this guy comes in, he could be one of your nicest customers if you treat him right today.
You're right.
Makes sense. Got that, Jim? Let's try it again. And action.
Thank you. Come again. Hi, what can I do for you today?
Yeah, I'd like a fillet of fish, a small Coke, and a fry, and nothing else, okay?
Is that a large fry?
I said a small fry.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't hear you. Is that for here?
Yeah, it's for here.
All right, your total comes to $2.78. I'll be right back with the order.
And cut. Great. Well, what did you think?
That was a lot better. You know, sometimes it takes that little bit extra to avoid confrontation. Right, Lisa?
Oh, boy, does it ever. But it's worth it.
Okay, let's set up for the next scene. Now, the action here is, Jim, you're taking this lady's order. And you're going to ask a special favor of Jim, and that's just the way I want it to sound. Like you're almost reluctant to ask. Okay? All right, background people, keep that energy up. Roll tape.
Speed.
Slate in.
Take 1.
And action.
Hello. What would you like today?
Well, I'd like a medium Coke and a Big Mac for here, please.
Would you like a medium fry with that?
No, not really. But I don't suppose it's possible for them to put a slice of tomato on that Big Mac, is it?
Yes, ma'am. It certainly is possible. It'll take just a moment. Is that okay?
Of course.
Great. That comes to $2.53.
I've got your Coke.
Thanks. We'll get your Coke now. You can find a seat, and we'll bring your Big Mac out to you.
Thank you.
And cut. Barbara, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Now, I understand the scene, but are you sure you want to show that in the video?
Well, Dave, I hear you. Well, you know, that's what this whole video is all about. When we say doing whatever it takes, that's what we mean. We want each customer to leave thinking, hey, McDonald's did something special just for me.
That's great.
Really, I don't know how you do it. I mean, you've got to remember all of your lines and remember your actions and still smile.
Hey, from what you've told me and from what I've read in this script, our work is a lot alike. I mean, we're both performers. We have to remember a lot of things. Let's face an audience, and we both need to smile. Now, the only difference is my audience is the camera and the director. And if I don't get my lines exactly right, I can do them over and over until the director yells, cut. That's a keeper. And then I feel as if I've done a good performance. But you only get one shot with each of your customers.
Wow. I guess I never thought about it like that, but you're right. I mean, I've got to do all those things right the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it's a great feeling when customers look pleased and say thank you. I figure if they smile at me and thank me, I've done a great job. And even if they don't, I know I gave it my best.
Exactly.
Okay, places, everyone. We're going to rehearse the lobby scene.
Great, thanks.
Okay, Jean, you're the customer. I want you to set your tray down and take a seat.
Got it.
And then just as she sits down, Lou, you show up at the grill order. Right. Okay? Then while you're talking, this gentleman at the next table, right, folds up his newspaper, gets up, and leaves.
This way.
Right.
All right.
Then you go over and clean off
Yeah,
the table.
get the tray, right?
Right. Okay. Everybody else just act natural, eating, talking with each other, you know, having a good time. Okay, let's run through it one time for the camera. And action.
Ma'am, here's your Egg McMuffin without cheese.
Well, that was fast. Thank you.
No problem.
And cut. Okay, looks real good. Any thoughts, Barbara, Lisa?
It was good, but it's missing something. I think...
Well, what do you mean? I don't...
You know, I see something that could really show the kind of doing whatever it takes we're talking about.
Hey, well, speak up. That's what you're here for.
All right, now, when Lou comes in with the grill order, the guy sitting at the next table should remain seated until...
Here's your Egg McMuffin without cheese.
Well, that was fast. Thank you.
No problem. Oh, sir, can I take that tray for you?
Oh, yeah, sure. Here you go.
Hey, was everything okay with your big breakfast this morning?
Yes, it was.
Have a great morning.
You too. Thank you.
Nice idea, Lisa.
Thanks.
It plays. But, come on, is that the way it really happens?
Sometimes. All right. Not often and no. But that is what we want our people to understand from this video, right? That they need to look for situations where they can impress people with our service. And we need to use our heads. No, do whatever it takes.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, we need to think of our customers at McDonald's like they're our own personal guests. And treat them that way, too.
But you know what's a shame?
What?
You don't even get to see the real stars of this scene.
What are you talking about?
The grill team. Well, they're the ones who got that grill order out there so fast.
What does the grill team have to do with service?
Oh, the grill team has everything to do with customer service. You see, if they don't respond quickly in all situations, especially grill orders, then the counter people could never deliver the customer satisfaction we're shooting for. Everyone in the store has to do their part. It's the teamwork that gets the job done.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Okay,
Your total's $4.85.
here you go.
Out of 5. Your change is 15 cents. Enjoy your lunch. Come back and see us real soon.
I gotta get out of the car now.
Don't worry about it. I'll have somebody else get it later. Here. Your order's ready at the next window, and have a nice day.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So what were you saying, Lisa?
I wanted to talk to you about
Sorry I had left that last. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
Oh, no, it was great, really.
Are you sure?
You know, well, that's what we're always trying to get our people to do. Think on your feet. I liked it.
It was great.
Yeah, thanks. You seem to be a natural at this.
Okay, everybody, this is the final scene, and let's make it good. This is the perfect service scene. Everybody know their business?
Yep.
Okay, places, everyone. Roll tape. Slate in.
Take 1.
And action.
Well, hi there. What can I get this hungry troop today?
Only my wings like that.
That's right.
And I get one too.
Well, yes, good for you.
A hamburger and milk here, and a cheeseburger Happy Meal with milk for Jennifer. And I'll have a 6-piece McNugget with sweet and sour sauce and a small Diet Coke for here.
I got it.
Good. Your total will be $6.68. Will you get a lady the money? Get a lady the money. $6.68 out of 7. I'll get it.
Happy Meal.
Yeah. Oh, I think Jennifer is hungry. That's right.
I'll get the cups for the milk.
Thanks.
Ma'am, would you like a high chair or booster seat with that?
A booster seat would be great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Jennifer hungry.
There you go.
Well, now, Jennifer, you come back and see us real soon. And I don't know your name.
Meow.
Peter.
Well, you too, Peter. Enjoy your lunch.
Thanks so
Meow.
much.
I'll carry that tray for you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Ready, honey?
What did you think? Was that last scene the perfect service scene? It was very good service. But remember, throughout the video, there was always a way to improve the script, to ad-lib something that turned the expected McDonald's service into complete customer satisfaction. And I know you can do an even better job than the actors because you know the system. You've got the power to make things better. If we rated what you just saw as A service, we're shooting for A+ service. The smiles, the friendly treat them as guests gestures. Let our guests know we're not just 6 steps and a smile. Our goal is to make our guests think, hey, these McDonald's people really care about me. And you know what? We really do. But we have to do it every time, even if it takes a little bit more time. When you notice a guest not getting that great McDonald's service, whether it's a quality problem, an error with their order, or they just need a ketchup packet, help them quickly. In doing so, in earning those smiles and thank yous and repeat business, we can make our jobs more fun. Now let's take another look at that last scene. Even though it may have been good service, there are always ways to improve on customer satisfaction. Look for ways in which you would improve our service. I know you can. Remember, when it comes to customer satisfaction, it's okay to do whatever it takes.
Well, hi there. What can I get this hungry troop today?
Only my room so I get a Happy Meal.
That's right.
And I get one too.
Well,
Yes,
good for
you do.
you.
A hamburger and milk here, and a cheeseburger Happy Meal with milk for Jennifer. And I'll have a 6-piece McNugget with sweet and sour sauce and a small Diet Coke for here.
I got it. Good. Your total will be $6.68.
Hey, will you give a lady the money? Give a lady the money.
$6.68 out of 7.
I'll get it.
Happy Meal.
Yeah. Oh, I think Jennifer is hungry.
That's right.
I'll get the cups for the milk.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, would you like a high chair or a booster seat with that?
A booster seat would be great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Well, now, Jennifer, you come back and see us real soon. And I don't know your name.
Peter.
Well, you too, Peter. Enjoy your lunch.
Thanks so
Meow.
much.
I'll carry that tray for you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Ready, honey?
Then we finish it off with a 10-to-1 reg meat patty. Go ahead and get your tongs and pull out the reg meat tray. Grab your piece of meat and put it on the sandwich.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I'm a crew trainer here at McDonald's. In the next few minutes, we'll show you most everything you need to know to become a McDonald's counter person, including the 6 steps in serving a customer. In addition, you'll learn about bagging items and filling drinks, as well as preparing orders for here and carry-out. You'll see what to do for special requests and problem situations, and even some tips on handling our younger customers. At McDonald's, we're proud of being #1, and with your help, we intend to stay that way. Doing so, however, will require your personal best. Your best appearance, your best attitude, your best performance. That's because the counter is one of our most important positions and certainly the most visible to our customers. To them, you are McDonald's. Think about it. As you greet a customer, you're showing how pleased you are to serve them. By your courteous, efficient handling of their order, you're reinforcing our reputation for blazing fast service. And the care you take in making sure that you serve only items that meet our high standards demonstrates our commitment to quality. These are all hallmarks of what we call the McDonald's experience. That's a pretty big responsibility. Add to it the fact that you're our only salesperson, as well as being the last step of McDonald's quality control, and you begin to understand just how important this job really is. But don't let that make you nervous. When in doubt, you have your station observation checklist to refer to. You also have a trainer like me, your manager, and all of McDonald's behind you every step of the way. Let's begin with the 6 steps you'll use in serving customers. They are: step number 1, greet the customer. Step number 2, take the order and sell up. Step number 3, assemble the order. Step number 4, present the order. Step number 5, receive payment. Step number 6, thank the customer and ask for repeat business. Now watch and listen carefully as Mark and Mary go through their paces in serving customers at the counter. The first step is to greet the customer. To do so properly, you should be at your station by your register before the customer gets there. That requires that you stay alert even when business is slow. Look the customer in the eye and greet them with a smile.
Good afternoon. May I take your order, please?
Vary the greeting and the tone of your voice from customer to customer. You don't want to sound like a robot.
Hi, may I take your order, please? Hello, sir.
And be especially attentive to our younger customers. Children are very important to our business and represent our future. Treat them with the same respect you would an adult. Just remember, first impressions are very important. Make yours and ours a good one. So that's step number 1, greet the customer. Step number 2 is to take the order. Make sure you listen carefully.
Fries, large coffee, and an apple pie.
And never suggest items to children. Doing so is certain to anger parents. However, if you're unsure of an order, wait till the customer has finished and repeat aloud what you do know. Then ask if anything was missed.
Okay, that's a 6-piece McNuggets, large fries, large coffee. Did I miss anything?
An apple pie.
Now ask the customer if their order is for the dining room, then total the order and tell the customer the amount.
Will this be for here?
Yes, please.
Your total is $3.10.
Okay.
So in step 2, taking the order, listening carefully to the customer is extremely important. Step number 3 is to assemble the order. Make sure you have the complete order in mind before assembling it. The main objective is accuracy. Speed will come with experience. There is a specific sequence in which our orders are assembled, and the quality of the food is directly affected by how well you follow it. It begins with shakes, then cold drinks, hot beverages, sandwiches, cookies, pies, French fries, and finally, sundaes and cones. All items should be handled with care. And remember, you're the last stage of McDonald's quality control, so if it's not right, don't serve it. Always use the ice scoop when putting ice in the drink cups, then fill with the soft drink. For sanitation reasons, never touch the ice or the lip of the cup with your hands. And always remember to cap all drinks before moving them to the counter. If your restaurant has drink touch towers, you can assemble the rest of the order while the cup is filling. Then return to the tower and cap the cup before bringing it to the counter. If a customer requests black coffee, fill the cup to the cap seat. For safety reasons, always place the cup on the counter before filling it with coffee. If cream is requested, fill to slightly below the cap seat. And again, remember to cap the cup before moving it. Next, we have the milk cooler, where milk, creamers, and other small refrigerated items are stored. The transfer bin is used to keep our sandwiches and McNuggets hot during our 10-minute holding time. We use a system called first in, first out in serving our food. That means that food is selected in order of when it was prepared. Every store has its own rotation. Ask your manager to explain the rotation used at your store. Because our fries are world famous, they deserve special attention. When filling an order of fries, take care not to touch the fries. Handle the bag from the side. If it's a carry-out order, place the fries in last so that they stay hot and are not crushed. A basic rule is that whenever handling money, you should never touch unwrapped food with your hands. All carry-out orders are to be properly bagged. All sandwiches and entrees are to be laid flat in the bag. Never lay a bag on its side to fill it. When a customer's order includes 2 or more drinks, you should use one of our 4-cup drink holders. Drinks are never to be bagged unless a customer requests it. Orders for here are always placed on a clean tray with a fresh liner. Assemble the order in a neat, logical manner. The drink should be on the customer's right, with the sandwich in the middle of the tray and the fries to the left. Never put hot fries next to anything cold. And that's all there is to step number 3, assemble the order. The 4th step is to present the order to the customer. Carry-out bags should be double folded to keep the product warm. The fold should be away from the McDonald's arches. The bag should be presented to the customer with the arches facing them. With lobby trays, slide the tray toward the customer so that he or she can read the message on the liner. Step number 5 is to receive payment from the customer. As you give the customer their order, state the amount of the sale.
Here it comes to $3.70.
Then state the amount that is given to you.
Out of 10?
Enter the sale and place all bills face down across the register drawer. This will reduce the chance of an error or misunderstanding with the customer. Count the change to yourself first, then count it back to the customer. Put all coins in the customer's hand.
5.
Then count out the bills as you place them in the customer's hand.
Thank you.
Never place the money on the counter.
Here, I have exact change. Oh, thank you. Please come back again.
And always remember to put the money in the drawer with the bills face down. Also, when serving children, be aware that they sometimes forget to wait for their change.
Here you go. Excuse me, don't forget your change.
So that's step 5, receiving payment. The 6th and final step is to thank the customer for their business and ask them to come again.
Thanks, and come back and see us again.
Vary your response and be sincere about it.
Thank you, and come again.
So there you have it, the 6 steps of service. Let's review. Greet the customer. Take the order and suggest if sell or sell up. Assemble the order. Present the order. Receive payment. Thank the customer and ask for repeat business.
Your change. Thank you. Please come again.
When not busy with your own station, remember that teamwork is an essential part of your job. Well, help out another counter person or the person at the drive-thru. If all customers have been waited on, clean the counter or replenish items around the counter. Condiments such as salt, pepper, and ketchup are located under the counter. Some customers may request them with their meals. But remember to keep an eye open for customers approaching the counter. You want to be there before they are. Occasionally, you'll receive a special request. For instance, maybe a customer would like to pay with a traveler's check. If so, call the manager. A grill order is another special situation in which you will have the opportunity to satisfy some of our customers' specific taste requirements. Grill orders should always be handled as a priority. Be certain to check with your manager as to how grill orders are handled in your store. On rare occasions, you may receive a customer complaint. Listen to what the customer has to say. Show some sympathy for their situation. Another special situation is when a customer drops a food item. Cheerfully replace the item at no cost. Then alert the manager for inventory purposes. Now you know the 6 steps in serving a customer, some secondary responsibilities, and how to handle some special situations. And remember, there's no reason to be nervous. Just relax. After all, if you need additional help, refer to your trainer, manager, or station observation checklist for the answers. And soon, with a little practice, you'll be part of our blazing fast service.
And chocolate chip cookies.
Is that a large fry?
Yes, uh-huh.
Will that be for here, ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your total comes to $3.06. Need a large fry. 6 cents in total. Out of 5. Change to $1.94. 4 and 5. Thank you very much, and come again.
With the help of your crew trainer at first, and then with some practice during your next 2 to 4 shifts, I know you'll do a great job. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the action with our front counter team. Bob, Anita, Dave, and Sarah. See if you can spot the techniques they use to improve the speed and quality of service, to deliver their personal best.
Thanks, and come back again. Hi, may I take your order?
Yes, I'd like a Big Mac, a large fry, a medium Coke, and I'd like to use this for a free apple pie.
Sure, no problem. Would you like that for here?
Yes, please.
With your coupon, your total is $2.89.
Fine. $0.48 is your change.
Here's your order. Your total is $2.89 out of 20.
Hi, can I take your order? About 60.
Your change is $17.11.
Hi, may I take your order?
Right. 11 makes 3, 4 and 5. 5 is 10, and 10 is 20. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and come back again.
Okay, thanks.
Hello, sir. May I help you over here?
Waste this, please, Candy. Here's your order. That's $1.96, please.
Hi, may I take your order? Your total is $2.01.
Well, what did you see? A lot going on, huh? Overall, I'm sure that you could tell that quick, friendly service is alive at our restaurant. These folks work like a well-oiled machine. I'm proud to see that Dave agrees that neat personal appearance is an important part of the McDonald's experience. And of course, cleanliness at our restaurant applies as much to personal hygiene as to the restaurant itself. How about Bob handling the customer with the coupon?
And I'd like to use this for a free apple pie.
Sure, no problem. He seemed genuinely happy to accept it. And that's the way it should be. Look at how neatly the cash drawer is arranged. All the bills are face down, with the large bills under the till, and a separate slot for coupons. Makes handling change much faster. Did you see Sarah discarding that quarter pounder with cheese while assembling her order?
Waste this, please, Candy.
Talk about sharp. She realized the holding time had expired and took care of it right away. She didn't walk past the problem. So, how'd you do? Did you spot all those points the first time? Of course, our team displayed other good techniques too. If you noticed them, good for you. Keep those in mind because they may be covered later. Now, let's watch our team in action again.
Hi, may I take your order? Here you go, that's 82 cents.
Here's your order. Thank you. Come again. Anita, could you get some lobby trays, please, as long as you don't have a customer?
Sure, Jen.
Thank you.
1 is 5. Thank you very much, and please come again, sir. Hi, may I take your order?
Yeah. This is to go.
Okay.
Okay, I need 4 large Cokes, 2 Big Macs, 2 quarter pounders with cheese, 1 hamburger, and 4 large fries. That's all.
Okay, your total is $12.62.
Hi, may I take your order?
I've got the max. I need 2 quarter pounders with cheese and a hamburger.
Your change is 60 cents. Here you are. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Come again soon. Have a nice day.
Here you go, Sarah.
Oh, thanks a lot, Anita.
Sure.
Okay, just as before, let's review some of the key techniques. Restocking during low volume periods is an important secondary responsibility and part of keeping on top of the job. Here, Sarah is restocking milk, but she stays alert to help customers. She knows that the customer is her primary responsibility, And when a customer does appear, she gets to her key station first, ready to take the order. She displays good customer awareness. Meanwhile, Anita is preparing trays in the back. She's careful to turn all the liners in the same direction. Well, that means no wasted time or guesswork in presenting a tray to a customer. And that means faster service. You can tell Dave is familiar with this key station. He uses it with speed and confidence, using both hands to enter orders so he doesn't waste time. He's also practiced memorizing orders.
I've got the max. I need 2 quarter pounders with cheese and a hamburger.
This reduces trips back to the key station and increases his speed. Let's get back to the action.
Hi, may I take your order?
Yes, can I have a fillet of fish, a regular fry, and a medium coke?
Would you like a hot apple pie with that?
No, thanks.
Is that for here?
To go.
Okay, your total is $2.29.
Thank you very much.
I need a regular fry, please.
Anita, will you make coffee, please? Sure thing. Thank you.
There you go. Your total is $2.29.
5 and 5 makes 10. Thanks so much. Please come again.
71 cents is your change. Will that be for here? Total is $3.39.
David, I'll get you drinks.
All right. Did you notice that Dave chose the right bag so that the order fit nicely, not jammed or crushed inside the bag? He saved time by taking the bag with him as he went to the touch tower. He started the drink, then properly placed the sandwich in the bag, leaving space along the side for the fries, added the fries, then capped the drink. No wasted time or motion here. He filled the entire order in one trip. Dave also double folded the bag properly, which keeps the food hot and projects the right image to our customers. So far, so good. Let's go back to the front counter.
Yes, one fillet of fish. Good afternoon. May I take your order, please? Sure. I'd like a cheeseburger, fries, and a medium Coke. Is that a large fry? Sure. Okay. Need a regular for here? Yeah. That'll be $2.12. Can I have a large fry, Helen? Okay.
Thank you, Helen.
Excuse me. Yeah, change that to go instead. Sure, no problem. Thanks.
46 is your change. 3, 4, and 1 makes 5. Thank you very much, and please come again. You know, if you'd like to have a seat, I can have our hostess bring your food out to you.
Oh, thank you. That would be very nice.
Carrie?
There you are. That'll be 73 cents, please. Out of 5. Your change is $4.27. Here you are. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And thanks very much. Please come back soon. Oh, Janice?
Yes, yes.
When we get a chance, I'll be needing some dimes and quarters, please.
Oh, sure. I'll get it for you now.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hi, Mrs. Johnson. Nice to see you today.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello, Billy.
Hi.
What can I get for you today?
Yes, Billy wants the cheeseburger Happy Meal with the milk, and I'll have the 6-piece McNuggets with the barbecue sauce and a medium Diet Coke.
Are you hungry, Billy?
Yeah.
Here's your order. That'll be 401, please. At a 425. And your change is 24 cents. That's 25. Thank you very much, Mrs. Johnson. Come again soon.
Bye now.
Bye-bye, Billy.
Spot anything new? Well, one thing you might have noticed is a secondary responsibility. Anita had a slow moment to restock the bags under the counter. Did you notice how she fanned the bags? This prevents them from sticking together and results in faster service. In addition, she showed the right attitude when her customer changed her mind and decided to make the order to go.
Excuse me, could I change that name to go instead? Sure.
Dave earned high marks too, by alertly recognizing his customer's special needs and suggesting some help.
3, 4, and 1 makes 5. Thank you very much, and please come again. You know, if you'd like to have a seat, I can have our hostess bring your food out to you.
Sarah showed foresight in anticipating a shortage of change and reduced the chance of a delay later on. How about the way she called Mrs. Johnson and her son by name? Now that's personalized service.
Johnson, nice to see you today.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello, Billy.
Hi.
If you recognize the same customer visiting the restaurant often, get to know them. Make them feel that you look forward to seeing them. They'll appreciate it and look forward to seeing you, too. Finally, Sarah is a master of planning her assembly route. She knew where the Happy Meal boxes were with the premiums in them and had them ready to go. So, when the order came in, she got the tray, started the drink, then got the milk and chicken McNuggets. Then she took the box and got the cheeseburger and fries for the Happy Meal. Picking up the drink on the way back. She couldn't have done it any better. Let's get back to the action.
Here's your order, sir. Thank you very much. Come back again.
Okay. That'll be 2 weeks.
Thank you, Helen.
Sure, that'll be fine.
Here's your order, sir. Thank you very much, and come back again and see us soon.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
I got that, Dave. Thanks, bye, Bob.
Need a large fry, please?
Here you go, Candace.
Hi, may I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like a 1/4 pounder with cheese. But could I get that with no ketchup?
Sure, no ketchup? No problem.
Great. And a large fry and a large Coke. Sure, I'll try one.
Hi, how are you?
Is that for here?
Yeah.
Your total's $3.67. Would you like your drink while we prepare your special order?
That'd be fine.
Candy grill order coming.
Now, how would you handle a special request? Well, Sarah let her customer know that she was glad to help satisfy the customer's special tastes.
May I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like a 1/4 pounder with cheese. But could I get that with no ketchup?
Sure, no ketchup?
She also made a point of alerting the production caller that a grill order was coming through. Not only did it ensure a quick turnaround, but it communicated to the customer that her special request was getting special attention.
Candy grill order coming.
Let's get back to the action.
Here's your refill. Thanks for coming in. Bye-bye. Hi. Hello, sir. May I help you?
Can I have a box of chocolate chip cookies and a milk?
You sure can. Is that to eat here?
Yeah.
Your total will be 90 cents.
I'll get your order. Your total is $2.15 out of 5. The change is $1.85.
5 makes 4, 1 makes 5. Thanks a lot for letting me see it. Hi, how are you, Lisa? May I take your order?
Large Coke, large fries.
I hope you
and
enjoy
apple
it. Come back soon.
Let me to the dining room.
Yes, let me be here.
In this last bit of action, Sarah waited on McDonald's most important customer. Who? You're looking at him. Though he's barely able to see over the counter, he's 10 feet tall when it comes to our present and future business. So treat him accordingly.
Well, hello, sir. May I take your order?
Can I have a box of chocolate chip cookies?
With all the courtesy and respect you would an adult. Well, that about does it for specific techniques. How'd you do at spotting them? Now let's take a look at a few general tips on improving speed and quality of service. One way to increase the speed of service is to keep on top of secondary responsibilities when the volume of business is low. That includes everything from restocking milk and creamers to cups and pies. It means having a towel ready by your station to clean up spills. It means retrieving lobby trays. Another area to work on is teamwork. No matter how well you work individually, the speed of your service is largely determined by how well you work as part of a team. Quality of service is a little harder to define. In talking about it, the first word that comes to mind is personality, the one you bring to the job. Use your personality to personalize your service. Vary your greetings. Hello, sir. How are you today? May I take your order? Sure. Display a helpful, friendly attitude. Maintain eye contact when talking with customers. Also, be alert to the needs of your customers and gladly handle any requests that they might have. That includes anything from a grill order to changing their mind. And finally, show that special touch, that extra care in everything you do, even down to cradling hamburgers and cheeseburgers to avoid pressing in the crowd, and picking up fries from the side rather than over the top. All of which makes a difference in the quality of service and the customer's impression of McDonald's. Remember, it's blazing fast service and quality service, topped off with your own personal best, that keeps our customers coming back again and again. And when you stay on top of those secondary responsibilities, and we all work together as a team, there's no other quick service restaurant that can keep up with us.
Here's your order.
Hi, may I take your order?
After your bun is toasted, you're ready to start a
Hi there. Welcome to the restaurant. And welcome to the team. I'm sure you've spent some time on this side of the counter. It's easy to be a customer. But now you're seeing McDonald's from the other side of the counter. And things will start to move fast, and you wonder whether you're doing everything right. Believe me, I've been there. You're not alone. That's the key. You're not alone. Your coworkers will be helping you out. You'll see. The world behind the counter will become easier. And meeting customers can be fun.
Hi, can I help you? Yeah, 2 large coffees, black, and a Suntime. That's it.
Hi, Lorraine.
It's me.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi.
When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is fall out of bed and jump into my car, and I head over to McDonald's for my cup of coffee and my morning paper.
If Lorraine's not here, we want to know where Lorraine is at.
Right.
And believe me, the next time we see Lorraine, we be like,
ask her.
Lorraine, where you been?
The people at McDonald's are like my friends. I mean, there's a joke. We spend time. How's your husband? How's your wife? How's the kids?
Oh, I've been on vacation. You know you have to get our permission to go on vacation. And she don't like us to take vacations either. Where you been?
Hey, haven't seen you around in a while. What you been up to?
I got up late. The whole restaurant knows I'm there. The whole restaurant knows I'm there.
We know the order before they even order it and have it sitting out ready for them.
So we just have it all ready for them, hot, fast.
If you receive good service, you remember it. If you receive bad service, you remember it even more. So when I'm getting good service, it's a pleasant experience, and you end the day up with a smile.
I love dealing with the customer, and it make me, you know, I can come here sometimes and be real frustrated. When I get there with the customer, it make me feel real good.
Satisfying the customer makes me feel real good. It makes me feel that I know I did my job right and that I got everything for them completely satisfied, knowing that I had a smile on my face, showing them how good I can be. It makes me feel real proud.
I had a couple ladies that came in and said to me, you know, I was feeling pretty bad, but after I got through talking to you, I feel better now.
I do this. Hi.
$1.95.
Oh, thank you. The morning it sets the stage for the rest of the day. So when I go to McDonald's and I get my coffee and my paper and I'm receiving a smile and just a little bit of conversation. Hi. How are you? Thank you. And when I miss it. I really feel like something's not right. The day hasn't started the way it's supposed to be. So I really go to start off my day, and it's been like a ritual for the past 3 years.
It's really amazing how people have such strong feelings for McDonald's, both customers and employees. It's something that the customer can depend on all around the world. And for us, it's a great feeling knowing we're working together and doing our best.
I think that the customers come back because there's something more to this restaurant and maybe this corporation itself, but specifically this restaurant. They come back because there's more here than just a business.
You keep coming back because they treat you real good, you know, with a nice smile, you know.
It makes a big difference when you're treated with a little respect, a little kindness, you know.
My regular customers, it's like as soon as I see them coming, I can see them out the window. I got their coffee ready, and it's already on the tray, and they like that.
Good morning. ¿Cómo está? Bien, bien. Bien fría. ¿Tienen frío?
We get to know them, what they like, how they like their food, and everything they want.
What it really comes down to is if they ask that you don't put any pickles on it, you don't put any pickles on it. That really makes them happy.
In the morning, when as soon as they open up the doors, here comes a group of older people, and then the older ladies too.
You have a lot of senior citizens that sit right there and over there. And they're the nice people you want to meet.
And they know each other, they know us, and they get to meet the other people, the new people that starts here working. Right away they like them right away. They start talking to them, and the new people that starts here, they get real comfortable too.
My first week was kind of fun here. I mean, learning all these new things, what it's like behind the McDonald's. I've been here before, I just never knew how it worked.
My first week here was absolutely horrendous. I was completely unprepared for it.
I was pretty overwhelmed at first when we got busy.
Everybody was helping me. Every time I made a mistake, they were very patient with me, and they would say to me, don't worry, you'll get better. This is very easy. Just don't worry, just keep on.
It's a good job working at McDonald's, actually. I mean, it's not too hard of a job. You learn quickly. You do a good job, it's perfect.
And don't give up. People are patient. People are very patient with you in the beginning.
As difficult as things were for me when I started, I found that within a very short period of time, I was doing very well, and I was asked by the store manager if I would like to begin the steps of being promoted. I thought about it, and I didn't want to do it. And time went by, and I began to reevaluate what I wanted to do. And when the subject came up again, I decided that I would give it a second chance, and I did. And they really take it step by step with you so that at no point do you feel like you're being pushed into something at all. You can always go back, or you can always stay where you are just long enough to really feel secure.
When you work at a McDonald's, you're trying to be as fast as you can, and that's fun.
When you work in grill, you begin to feel, especially when you work there for a long time, you begin to feel as though that's the most important station, and as though every other station depends on you. And to a sense, that's true, but coming to work at the front counter, you get the same feeling, and it's just as true.
Everybody's like, we're doing our own work at certain times, but at other times other people need help.
Not only you're taking an order for you, the person that you have in front, but you also listening to the one right next to you or the one to the other side.
I feel that there's really nothing as important as teamwork and as relying on other people and making sure that you can be relied on by other people. You really have to be very quick and very willing to serve the public.
When I'm dealing with the customers, I gotta give them the best.
That's the way that we would want to be treated when we go to a place like McDonald's, and so we should extend the same niceties to our customers.
The service is good. You know, what more could you ask for? Worth every penny of it.
You know, before I started working here, I always wondered how they did this. Actually, I've learned quite a lot since I started working for McDonald's. The training is great, and it helps you prepare for the unexpected.
I gotta tell Ronald McDonald if he wants to come, okay? Okay, let me beep on him. Hi, Ronald. Are you coming to E.T.'s birthday?
On April 29th, Randy was taking her first field trip. And they were going to a farm right in Lusby, just a few minutes away, and I was pregnant at the time. I wasn't feeling very well, so I stayed home, and I trusted her teacher to care for her during the field trip. After the farm, everybody went to McDonald's to eat, and they went to the Leonardtown McDonald's because it has the largest play area.
I did notice one little girl sitting at a table, and she was singing. She was just by herself, and I looked around. There were a few other mothers here that day with their children. I didn't see that they were together at that point, but I had my eye on this little girl.
So I showed up at the community center. All the children got off of the bus. The teacher got off the bus, looked at me, then she boarded the bus again and talked to the other teacher. In the meantime, I'm getting worried.
One of the other ladies, a customer, you know, she was concerned too. She had noticed the little girl, and both of us were at the point of, okay, she could have been on that bus.
So I went out there to check on her, and I asked her, and she told me, she says, well, they left me. The bus left me, she said.
When Mary brought the Randy back, I wanted Beverly, you know, she has a child of her own and she's expecting herself. So, you know, she kind of like took over.
I didn't want to leave her. When I noticed that, you know, she was left here, I didn't want to leave her. I didn't want to go back and start working in drive-thru again or go back on front line. I wanted to stay with her until her mother got here, until the bus came back or whatever was going to happen.
All kinds of horrible things were running through my mind. I was sick to my stomach. I'm speeding. I mean, I must have been running 80 miles an hour down the road.
And she said, well, my mommy's having a baby. And I went, oh, dear, mommy's having a baby.
But I can't even explain the emotions and the thoughts going through my mind, just terrible, terrible thoughts. So when I arrived and I saw, well, the lady just came to me immediately. The first thing, she's like, Tammy, you know, are you Randy's mom? I was like, yes, I am. And she said, the first thing she said, Randy is safe.
And she's like, I was going to come today. She's like, I was going to be with her. She's like, but the reason I didn't, because I'm 8 months pregnant and I'm having contractions.
And she says, I'm worried about you. Let's get you something to drink and let's get you sitting down and calm you down.
I was like, well, how am I going to find out if this is really the mother or not? And then when they both saw each other, she started crying, and she's like, Mommy, Mommy.
Randy came running to me when she saw me, and she was like, oh, Mommy, there you are. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to go play with the McDonald's ladies. Bye.
We knew that woman, when she walked in that door, was that child's mother. There was just, I mean, it was like you could see the connection, you know. And what a relief. What a relief. I mean, I think afterwards we all just sat down and went,
These people decided to think the problem out and do what's going to be in the best interest of our child rather than for them.
The idea that this child is here and she's alone, if we don't do something, and we don't do the right thing, but we did.
Even though it was a tragedy to me and her dad, to her, she never even realized there was a problem because of the way that these people handled this situation. They really took care of us. They opened up their hearts. It's not just like how the world is today, how people usually act. They just really went out of their way. They really did.
You get the feeling that this isn't just a restaurant. It has its own personality, and no 2 days are alike. Granted, you will do some of the same tests over and over again. That's part of the job. But McDonald's is a learning experience that provides a lot of opportunities.
Beautiful downtown Chicago.
You're on Wacker Drive.
Right down the street from the Sears Tower, across the street from the Chicago Lyric Opera House.
It's very, very busy down here. You get people from all over Illinois that come to work downtown Chicago. It happens to be one of the most frequent visited McDonald's because of the location.
We've been coming here ever since the grand opening.
It was a lot of exciting things going on for the whole week.
Ronald McDonald
was here. Andy was here. The grand opening was great. It went well. I think everybody is happy. McDonald's is right here, right across the street from the jobs. We've been open now for like 2 months. And I was so excited, you know, just really excited because I never started at a new restaurant before.
I used to work at McDonald's a long time ago when I was in high school, and it was one of my extracurricular jobs that I had, and I worked there. And I used to come in at 5 o'clock in the morning and make those sunrise biscuits.
When I first started at McDonald's, I was very nervous.
Sometimes I can tell if they're new, of being an employee, that if they have to look at the value meals, if they don't know them by heart.
I would get scared. And like when I get scared, it's like I mess up and everything. But they be like, just calm down, take it easy, everything will be okay. And so from that point on, I was fine.
I got to do like the front and back. So it wasn't just I learned the front and just could never help out in the back. And that was one thing about working at McDonald's. You have to be an asset to help everybody back and front.
I've been working for McDonald's for about 4 days. And the past 4 days have been pretty quick and amusing. We meet a lot of different people.
D'Angelo is doing great. He started work about 3 days ago. He was on the register in 2 days because Shirley had taught him. Taught him very well.
Well, it's like teamwork. It's like you all move together.
You have to start from somewhere. McDonald's is an excellent place to start.
As long as you put your mind to it, you should be able to do anything. And working here, hopefully I could become something like maybe a manager one day or a crew trainer.
I became team leader. I was a crew leader. So, it was like an advancement thing. I really love working at McDonald's.
When the rush hour comes, you're completely busy. It's like you're in a zone. You're completely working. Before you look around and look at the clock, oh man, a few hours have passed up.
I have good time working with my customers, but I have a lot of fun with my what you call them, co-workers? Yeah. Yeah, with my co-workers because they makes the day go fast.
It's cool to see different faces. That's what I like really about the job. Different faces. Tell everybody, how okay, welcome to McDonald's. Hope you enjoy your meal. Come back again, and they smile when they leave.
I would have to say that McDonald's, working there, gave me that person-to-person customer relation, and that's the same thing I do now with my job. I deal with customers all the time, and even though I'm over the phone, I remember when I used to do it face-to-face. Actually, my fiance worked at McDonald's. He worked at one for quite a while. He knows how to cook finally. He cooks and he cleans, so I guess you can basically say he's learned a lot.
You never know what could happen. All you just got to do is try to succeed. Try to be the best you can be. And that's it.
My shift is up. Gotta go. And don't worry, you're gonna do just fine. McDonald's is a great place to work. See you around.
The top of the bun is called the crown and the bottom is the heel. You always want the heel to be facing the landing zone.
Hi, how you doing? Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order, please? I'd like that.
Pretend that you're a McDonald's customer. Would you rather be served by her or by him?
Good morning. How are you doing today? Great, thanks. Great. What can I get for you today? I'd like to.
There's a difference between good service and great service. Just take the greeting. If you're a customer, that first impression tells you a lot about the service you're about to get.
To be satisfied in this day and age, service. Service has to be it. If you receive good service, you remember it. If you receive bad service, you remember it even more. So when I'm getting good service, it's a pleasant experience, and you end the day up with a smile. When you get the bad service, it's like, I'm never going back there again.
We have a job, so I feel good when I'm helping someone else because it makes you feel good during the whole day that you made somebody smile that day, or maybe you made them happy, and they go away with a better feeling, and you go away yourself with a better feeling.
I always look for a smile in a person that's greeting me. I look for the appearance too.
Mostly people come in and look for that kindness, that good morning, can I help you?
Service is a big reason many people choose McDonald's. You already know all kinds of ways to deliver good service at the front counter and in the drive-thru, but delivering great service can really impress your customers. If someone's in a hurry, that means taking the order accurately and delivering the food hot and fast. But your very next customer might want something more. A little extra help, a special request, a friendly hello, maybe just a smile. For instance, why is it so important that you look your best, neat and clean? Isn't that the way you'd want someone to look if they were serving food to you? And that's really the key to great service, the ability to think like a customer. Let's think like customers. Let's say that I stop at my local McDonald's every day on my way to work and I order the same thing. I've seen this same crew person a number of times.
Hi, can I take your order?
Yeah, I'll have a large coffee, please.
Large coffee? Would you like cream or sugar with that?
I usually take it with 2 creams and 1 equal, please.
2 creams, 1 equal. That'll be 84 cents.
Good service. But you have a great service opportunity when you recognize a regular customer.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Just fine, thanks.
What's your usual? Large coffee, 2 creams, 1 equal?
Sure, that'll be fine, thanks.
84 cents. By the way, my name is Daniel.
Hi, Daniel. It's nice to meet you. My name is Adrian.
Adrian, how is it out there?
I think it's warming up a little bit.
Oh, great. I was hoping to get on my bike later on today.
From what I hear, you'll be able to do just that.
Here's your coffee. That'll be 84 cents.
You know, those Danish are looking pretty good. I think I'll have one of those, too.
All right. They want to be recognized.
I come every morning to get a sausage McMuffin. And most of the people that work here in the mornings, they know me. Hi, how you doing? How are the kids? You know, they're pretty friendly, nice people. So McDonald's seems to be a great place to come, you know, get your food or whatever. So it's nice.
What really makes some of the customers happy around here is remembering what their orders are, because a lot of people get the same things day after day. And like once they come in, you see them, you say, hi, you got your order ready, or the usual. Just that makes customers pretty happy around here.
When I go to McDonald's and I get my coffee and my paper and I'm receiving a smile and just a little bit of conversation, it sets the stage for the rest of the day.
Regular customers in the drive-thru are harder to recognize. You have to listen for their voices. But sometimes there are other clues.
Good morning. May I take your order, please?
Yeah, I'll have a large coffee, 2 creams, 1 equal.
Adrian, is that you?
Daniel?
Yeah. You in a hurry today?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be 84 cents. Drive on around, and I'll see you here.
Thanks a lot.
You have to offer the drive-thru customers the same service that you would offer counter customers. You have to be very pleasant when you take their orders. You have to give them the impression that you are glad that they're choosing your drive-thru as opposed to somebody else's drive-thru.
Be alert for the next
customer?
Oh, we like the people here, and we like the food and the service.
Whether they're coming to the front counter or the drive-thru. We have a lot of competition, and one thing that I think McDonald's does better than most of our competitors is provide really outstanding service to our customers. So we really try in my restaurant to provide, particularly at the drive-thru, if we're talking over a speaker or presenting out the window, to really give a lot of extra personality in that, because our food is great, our cleanliness is great, but where we really, really shine is where we provide that outstanding service to the customer. Oftentimes we only have a few seconds face-to-face contact with our customer, so if we can make those few seconds a really outstanding experience, I think we really have the edge on our competition.
Thanks for coming in today.
You don't always have to be with the customer to deliver great service. Keep your eyes and ears open for hidden service opportunities. For instance, the front counter may be quiet, but what about the drive-thru? Drive-thru customers are usually in a hurry. If they keep moving and get their food fast, you'll exceed their expectations. Make them want to come back again. Because this crew is so great at backing each other up, they become a much more effective service team.
It gets to the point where you feel as though if they're not there, that you're not going to be able to do your job as well as you can, even if you give 100%.
Everyone works together, satisfying customers.
Teamwork is pretty fun, actually, because everybody's like, we're doing our own work at certain times, but at other times other people need help, so we all join in, help them out, see what we could do for them.
Keeping customers happy, them getting their food faster, makes them come back.
Here's another way teamwork can impress the customer.
Sprite and one with an orange, and we have one extra value meal, number 2 with a Diet Coke.
The great service opportunity would be obvious in this situation if the restaurant weren't busy. But what about during a lunch rush? Even with other customers waiting, there's always a way to help someone who needs assistance.
Ma'am, it looks like you have your hands full. Why don't you and the kids have a seat at the table, and we'll bring this right out to you.
Thanks, that'd be great. We'd really appreciate that.
Our pleasure. Tanya, could you carry out this order for me?
Be happy to.
Great.
All it takes is teamwork.
Thank you.
But even though you try your best to provide great service, you may still get some complaints.
Excuse me, these fries are cold. Oh. Okay, hold on just a minute.
That was good in some respects. She solved the problem right away by herself without calling for the manager. But did you notice that the crew person never apologized? Didn't take that extra moment to emphasize to the customer that even though we made a mistake, we still value and want to keep their business. What's important is being able to turn a negative situation into a positive experience for the customer. We're all human and we're gonna make mistakes.
Excuse me, these fries are cold. Oh, I'm very sorry about that, ma'am. I'll replace them for you right away. There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us know.
Oh, you're welcome.
Was everything else all right?
Yeah, the cheeseburger was fine. It was just the fries.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Hi.
Happy customers mean repeat customers. Repeat customers mean money.
The more people we have coming in this store, the better off I am securing my job.
Yes, you're going to have terrible customers. Yes, you're going to have people that come in and with an attitude, or just hurry up and give it to me, and why wasn't it here when I was waiting? All it takes is a smile to disarm that person and make them think that, you know, hey, I'm doing my best, and really you are important. And I think that's what it means. Make the people feel important.
Most of our customers actually don't take the time to complain, so when we're face-to-face with an unhappy customer, we have to recognize this as a great opportunity. Customers who complain are really very valuable customers because they're giving us a second chance to do a better job.
Well, keeping the customer happy makes me happy.
But sometimes a complaint can be very difficult to handle.
Hi, how are you doing today, sir? May I help you?
I don't know. What happened to the Big Mac I ordered? I got back to my office and it wasn't in the bag.
I'm very sorry for the inconvenience, sir. Would you like me to replace your order, or would you like a complimentary dessert?
I just want the sandwich I paid for.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm on my lunch break. I don't have time for this. This is the third time this has happened to me in this. What is the matter with you people?
Again, I'm very sorry. Here's your Big Mac, sir. Would you like to talk to my manager?
Forget it.
Hey, Daniel. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I caught the tail end of that. You handled it well.
Yeah, great.
No, I mean it. That was a no-win situation.
That guy was looking to let off some steam, and you just happened to be in the way.
Yeah, you know, part of me really wanted to give it back to him.
I know how you feel. It's happened to me, too. But you can't let people like that get to you. You can't take it personally. Losing control and arguing back would only have made things worse.
Yeah.
If they're not satisfied, if they're not happy, they're not going to come back.
They may be grouchy, they may be having a bad day, and maybe they won't be so patient with you.
But just keep your cool. Try to serve them the best way you can. You know, still serve them with a smile.
When a customer is not having a great day, we can do our best to smile at that customer and do our best to try to turn that around, and maybe in addition to giving them a great meal, maybe making them feel a little bit better about how their day is going.
It all comes back to thinking like a customer. That's the way to make your good service great. And it's worth it, because every time you satisfy a customer, it makes you feel great.
It makes me feel that I know I did my job right and that I got everything for them completely satisfied, knowing that I had a smile on my face, showing them how good I can be. It makes me feel real proud.
Then you put the heel on the crown and wrap it up side to side. There you go, a McDonald's hamburger.